Hi guys. So in this video I'm going to show you how to do a bit of basic bike maintenance, fixing a puncture. Okay, so I've had a puncture in the front wheel of my bike. I've got the tyre off, I've got the inner tube off. Okay, so I've got a cheap puncture repair kit from Wilco. It's £1 and it's got these type of patches which I think are the best. Right, so the first thing to do is to locate where the puncture is in the inner tube. And you do this by getting a bowl of water, kitchen bowl or whatever, fill the bowl of water up, get your pump, slightly slightly inflate the inner tube until you can submerge the inner tube into the water. Move the inner tube around the water until you locate where the bubbles are coming out of. Get the little yellow crayon that's in the puncture repair kit and just put a little mark on the inner tube where the hole is, and I'll just turn the camera off, fill the bowl up with water. Alright, so we've got the bowl of water now. I'm using this type of pump, which is a plunge pump, not very mobile but the quickest to inflate the tyre. So you're not going to really put this in your rucksack and go off riding. You want to get one of those smaller compact ones. Just connect it to the car type valve like that. Right, so we need that little crayon that we were talking about, but I don't really need to dip that in the water because I can see already where the thorn has punctured the tyre. Get the little crayon, put a little X, put a little X on the inner tube. So I'm going to make doubly sure that there's no other punches on it. The last thing you want to do really is put the inner tube back on and realise, oh yes, there's another puncture here, slow. So. Okay. Put a little X, this is waterproof. So that's 2. Okay. So I've located 2 punctures in that inner tube. So what I'm going to do now is deflate the inner tube, dry it off. Deflating it by pressing the car type valve all the way in, scrunching the inner tube up, getting all the air out. You can do this with like a little flat-headed screwdriver, just push the centre bit of the car type valve in and that releases all the air. So now you should have, now I've got 2 marks on the tube exactly where the holes are, and basically we want the area really dry. And what we're going to do now is give it a light sand on the area where we're going to put the patch. Should be a bit of sandpaper in the kit. Yep, bit of sandpaper. So, don't know that you can see. Here's a little mark here. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a sand. It's probably best just to do it on a little bit of a surface here. And you can sort of roll the tyre out and get it properly. Get the area properly keyed. This is just so the patch sticks properly to the inner tube. If you didn't really do this, you wouldn't really get a good key, you know. I'm just giving it one stroke, so I'm not overly doing it. just so you can take the shine off the inner tube and you know that you've got a good key. So yeah, so I've got a good key on that. The trick is now, is because you've rubbed off the cross on the inner tube, is to make sure you put the patch directly on the hole. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose a patch for that. It's quite a bad hole that one was, so I'm going to choose a large patch. Okay, so one of these patches, like that. I'm going to hold it against the inner tube. Like the hole here, hold it against the inner tube, and that will give me a rough guide on where to put the glue. Rubber glue, rubber solution glue. Open it, turn the cap around, there'll be a little piercing thing inside the cap. Pierce the rubber solution. Okay. Bit of wind. And just in your fingers, just rub the same size as the patch, a little bit bigger than the patch, in glue. Okay. Not too thick, but not too thin either. Okay, so that's covered now. So I'm going to give that a good sort of 10 minutes to air before I attempt to put the patch on. Okay, so it's a bit less than 10 minutes, say about 5 minutes, and it's ready. You can tell it's ready because it's started to air dry, the glue has. You don't want to put it on too early because it's not going to stick properly. You want to get it just right. So I'm going to peel the silver foil off the back of this patch. Okay. I'm going to keep the top layer on. I'm going to put the patch directly over the hole in the shape of the glue that you've just put on. Okay. So, bang. I'm just going to hold it with my thumb. So that's stuck beautifully on there now. Now leave it for 10 minutes. Alright, so I've got both patches on now. Air drying out. That one there. I've left the film on the top. There's no need to pull that off. See, 2 patches here. Now the next important thing to do is check your tyre that you've taken off for anything that punctured the tyre rather. Thorns, needles, bits of metal, glass, they all puncture the tyre. So find a marker on the tyre, usually the maker's name. Put your hands inside the tyre, or your fingers all the way across the top, and feel with your hand, and just run the tyre through your hand. And you're feeling for anything, any snags which are coming through the tyre which can puncture your inner tube. Double checking, making sure I haven't missed anything. So there's one bad one and one not so bad one. I found the bad one, it was a thorn, big massive thorn that was through it. Pulled that out and all the air came out. So I know that one's not in there. Okay, got something. See, to double check. See there, there's a little tiny thorn there. Get that out. Okay. Sometimes they're too hard to get out. That was a really small one and it didn't have an end on the other side, so make sure yep, there it is. That's out. It's just like a little splinter in your finger. Okay, so now I'm confident that this tyre is fine, so I'm going to half put it on the rim. Some tyres fit to the rim closer than others. This one's quite a loose fitting tyre, so I don't need any levers. I'll just do it with my fingers. Okay. So we've got the tyre, half on the rim, like that. The next step is to get the inner tube, like the valve. Find the hole in the rim for the valve. Yeah. Get the tube, get half into the tyre. Into the rim. Okay. So now just go around with your hands. Gently just feed the tyre into the feed the inner tube into the tyre. The tube's in the tyre now. Just pull the tyre back onto the rim, making sure you don't snag, you don't catch the inner tube with the tyre, especially if you're using levers. Sometimes a bit of washing up liquid helps if the tyre's really, really tight. Okay. Right. So that's ready to blow up then now. I'm just going to give it another 10 more minutes before I inflate it. Right, there's a bit less than 5 minutes, so this is where all your hard work pays off. Because there's no air in the tyre, just push down on the valve, on this type of pump anyway, push up. Pull it back to lock it in. Nice. Right, so want to get the air in as quickly as possible, so we get the pump jammed up to the tyre and stuck properly. Not too much pressure to begin with. You're on about 20 psi. That'll do, 20 psi. Okay, so in about 15 minutes time, I'll put the pump back on, pump it up to 40, 50 psi, and job done. So cheers for watching. Hit the like button below, subscribe. It's all good. See you next time.